Okay, blank here, and I want to do one of these kind of talk videos where I go into depth on video game and mechanics that I like in video games. This may be a bit rambly. This is my first time kind of doing this, so I want to talk about the people having a lack of understanding and randomness in fighting games, and I think that's kind of hurting a lot of fighting game systems. I got this idea from seeing a lot of people discuss and talk about how Soul Calibur 2 is better than Soul Calibur 6, which I think is uh, wrong on a lot of levels. I think Soul Calibur 6 is the most balanced a fighting game has been uh, in a while. Like, the most balanced fighting game out there so far. Uh, like, I see a lot of issues. People talk, what, how people talk about the game, uh, are just kind of made up in a way. Like how people talk about reversal edge somehow killing the game while not really understanding the kind of uh, in, intention, how reversal edge as a system balances kind of dynamics, turn dynamics in the matches. Um, they just kind of think people spam reversal edge, and it's not really. I mean, maybe when the game started, that was kind of a thing you would see earlier on, but that's something you would see in all fighting games. Uh, but reversal edge as a kind of it serves three purposes in the match, and that is gaining meter, kind of closing out a round, and kind of changing things in your favor. And that is because it's such a simple kind of system that may seem broken to the professional player, since it has so many variables in how it ends up. And I think that kind of that 50-50 is something that most fighting game players are trying to remove. You look at Soul Calibur 2, and this bothers me a lot. And in that game, the standard combo is, well, from what I see, is that which you do a launcher into a spike, and then you do a simple kick, and that's a combo, and that's half your HP in that game. And that kind of ignores that kind of play style ignores the rest of the game, the depth of the game. So now the kind of meta, or the how matches would revolve, is around that kind of particular combo. Like, if your character can't do that in very fast, then uh, they're they're basically obsolete in terms of the game's meta. And in Soul Calibur 6, that's not a thing, thankfully. But you do have you do have let's see, you have the players engaging into the rest of the game's mechanics in an intelligent way. Like before Reversal Edge, people, it was largely ignored by the professional, uh, or rather, yeah, by professional players. And uh, once someone once you think about that mechanic intelligently, it's kind of it's an automatic parry system. So let's say you're both at low HP, then you can use Reversal Edge to kind of get a quick punish and close out the round. And I think uh, random stuff like that really adds into a game. It's kind of like the I think it's Slipstream system and Phantom Breaker, which I really do like. It's kind of encouraging that aggressiveness that Guilty Gear kind of lost over the years. And I think that really adds. You also have also break attacks in Soul Calibur. Before, I'm not really sure if they were really served a purpose aside from kind of looking flashy. I know some put you in minus after guarding, but I really wouldn't consider that a significant kind of move. Like it really doesn't set apart anything. Not like unblockables or anything. But break attacks now serve a purpose, and that is to counter reversal edge and also guard impact, which are uh, two kind of defensive tools that didn't really have a specific kind of counter. Guard impact, well, you could just bait it out, but I really wouldn't consider that a counter. And reversal edge is can block lows, and but not unblockables. So there's also that added layer where break attacks now have kind of a purpose, and I was hoping to see something like that in Type Lumina, which it's with its shield system, which I did see. A lot of people hated that system, and it was like, as you can see in the beginning phases of the game, it kind of hurt the game. It hurt the game a lot. It was extremely annoying. You couldn't do anything about shield in Type Luna until this recent update came out. Uh, that kind of made the game play less like something bad, because you had auto combos, which kind of ruined the kind of flow you would have going against shield. So yeah, I was hoping hold attacks in Melty Blood would be a counter in shield, but it's not. And you also have Moon Gauge in Type Luna, which is uh, pretty decisive. I think that game borrows a lot of mechanics from 6 and implements them in a very haphazardly way, not really thinking about the consequences and in-depth player reaction, uh, how players would progress with these mechanics, not like unlike 6. And yeah, I think uh, what players uh, they like these kind of straightforward mechanics that I view as kind of broken. I think they're broken because they're so straightforward. You can't really uh, counter them it in any meaningful way. Like once you get hit by it, it's kind of it for you as a player in a match. And I think the the fighting game community. I hate using that phrase. I think the fighting game community is straying way too far into having matches be have no kind of dynamic push pull kind of flow or variation in them. Uh, there's very little. there's very little you can do in modern fighting games to change the outcome. If a character is weaker than another character, then that character will always fundamentally be weaker than the top tier, you could say. And I think that's really bad if fighting games continue to go in that path, especially for if there is going to be a Soul Calibur 7 or anything. I do not want the game to end up like that, end up like Strive has. Strive is such a mess and straightforward mechanics that the player can't really uh, go into depth in. And I think people trick themselves into believing that these games have any sort of depth because they when the game's revealed to kind of show you a select few things, making the players believe that you could do more. But when players get their hands on the game and find out that you can't really do much, uh, you can only do like maybe three things, create three kind of different things, combos in a sense. Uh, you can't. Uh, they just they they think uh, these three different things that they discovered is somehow gonna revolutionize, gonna progress the game and continue progressing the game further. When in actuality, the game is not gonna go further than that. They're just it's just gonna stay in a sort of uh, stay in a very rigid box, and that's it.